Welcome back, Warner fam. Today, I'll recap a chilling horror crime film, P2, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts with Angela, a hard-working woman who's stuck working late on Christmas Eve. She's in a rush to get to her family holiday party, but first heads to the parking garage called P2. As she enters, she greets the main lobby security guard, Carl. Everything seems normal until she reaches her car. It won't start. Angela tries to get help from a friendly security guard named Thomas, who offers to spend Christmas with her. She politely says no and calls a taxi instead. When the taxi arrives, things take a scary turn. Angela realizes she's locked in the lobby, and Carl is missing. She rushes back to the garage to find Thomas, hoping he can help again. Suddenly, the lights go out, and Angela's only guide is the tiny glow from her cell phone. It's like a game of hide and seek, but way more dangerous. She stumbles, dropping her phone, and scrambles to pick everything up. When she finally shines the light on herself, Thomas is standing right behind her. He grabs her, using a rag soaked in chloroform to knock her out, and that's when the nightmare really begins. Angela wakes up feeling dizzy and confused. She finds herself chained to a table in Thomas's office. Across from her, Thomas has set up a Christmas dinner with turkey and mashed potatoes. It's a weird, creepy scene, like a holiday dinner gone wrong. Thomas sits down and starts asking Angela all sorts of questions about her life. He seems really curious, almost like he's trying to get to know her better. He even talks about a book he's reading, The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Thomas says the main character loves his girlfriend, even with all her flaws, just like he claims to love Angela, despite her sins. Angela tries to reason with him, begging to be let go. She even tries threatening him, but Thomas doesn't care. Instead, he forces her to call her family and lie, saying she's sick. This way, no one will come looking for her. Then, Thomas decides they should go for a drive. As he unlocks the chains, Angela sees her chance. She grabs a fork from the table and stabs him in the back, but it's not enough. Thomas blocks her escape. The nightmare continues. Thomas handcuffs Angela's wrists behind her back and forces her into his car. They drive down to P4, the lowest level of the parking garage, and what they find there makes Angela's blood run cold. Sitting in front of them is Jim, a co-worker, tied to an office chair. Jim had gotten too close to Angela once. He'd tried to touch her after drinking too much at the office Christmas party. Thomas saw everything on the security cameras, and now he thinks Angela wants payback. He even calls this situation a gift for her. Angela is horrified and refuses, but Thomas won't let it go. He claims Jim has done this to other women too, and doesn't deserve to be forgiven. When Angela tries to defend herself and Jim, things take a dark turn. Thomas starts imagining that Angela and Jim might have had an affair. He changes his mind back and forth, unsure whether to believe Angela or his own twisted ideas. Then, Thomas demands Angela be the one to punish Jim. Scared and desperate, Angela says yes, maybe hoping to find a way to escape once her hands are free. But Thomas doesn't want to make her a bad person. Instead, he does the unthinkable. He grabs a flashlight and beats Jim brutally. Then he gets in the car and rams Jim over and over again. The last hit is so hard that Jim's body gives out. He doesn't survive. During this horrible moment, Angela sees her chance. She manages to slip out of the car and escape into the shadows. Angela runs as fast as she can, putting as much distance as possible between herself and Thomas. Her heart pounds like a drum, but she knows she can't stop. Finally, she ducks behind a pillar to catch her breath. She looks down at her wrists, still locked in the handcuffs. Thinking quickly, Angela sits on the ground and tucks her knees to her chest. With a deep breath, she slides her legs through her arms. It's not easy, but she keeps going until, yes, her hands are now cuffed in front instead of behind her back. Now, Angela feels a tiny spark of hope. She's still trapped, but at least she can move better, and she knows she has to stay one step ahead of Thomas if she wants to survive. While Thomas is busy hiding the evidence of Jim's death, Angela races back to the office. She grabs her cell phone and swipes some key cards, knowing she'll need every advantage she can get. On P1, near a gate, she finally gets a signal and tries to call for help. Just as she's about to speak, the phone slips through the bars onto the other side. Before she can grab it, Angela spots Thomas rounding the corner. She has no choice but to leave the phone behind and run. With Thomas and his dog Rocky hot on her trail, Angela dashes to the elevators. Using the stolen key cards, she gets in just in time. Her plan? Go straight to the lobby and escape. But when she presses the button, It's broken. Instead, the elevator takes her back to P1, where she nearly runs right into Thomas. Desperate, she uses the emergency stop button between floors and hides in the elevator shaft. Angela presses the emergency call button. A man with a thick accent answers, and she begs him to call 911, but something doesn't feel right. He tells her Thomas was just trying to help, and that's when she realizes the voice is Thomas pretending. Thomas tries to sweet-talk her into coming out, but Angela refuses. Suddenly, he uses a fire hose from a higher floor to flood the elevator, forcing her out. The water rises fast, and in the chaos, something drops from the ceiling. It's Carl's body. When the elevator finally reaches the next floor, the doors burst open, spilling Angela and Carl into the hallway. She checks him, hoping he might still be alive, but he doesn't move, and Angela realizes she has to save herself. She leaves him behind, feeling a pang of guilt. Later, Carl's body is still in the hallway, now with a fresh gash on his head. It's a chilling sign that maybe he was alive in the flooded elevator after all. Thomas blames Carl for ruining Christmas and leaves him there, lifeless and alone. Angela sneaks into a shadowy corner of the garage, heart pounding, trying to stay out of sight. Suddenly, the entire place fills with Elvis songs blaring from the speakers. Thomas is messing with her, using the music to add to her fear. It's like he's playing a sick game. Then Angela realizes something. He's watching her through the security cameras. She spots an emergency fire axe on the wall and grabs it. Determined and angry, she starts smashing every camera she can find, one by one. Each hit feels like taking back a piece of her freedom. Angela makes her way to Thomas's office, ready for a fight. Inside, she sees something that makes her blood boil, a video playing of Thomas groping her while she was knocked out. Rage fills her, and without thinking twice, she swings the fire axe and smashes the TV to pieces. But before she can catch her breath, Thomas appears out of nowhere. He sneaks up behind her and ambushes her with a taser. The shock knocks Angela to the ground and everything goes dark again. Meanwhile, 2 police officers arrive at the parking garage. They want to check the area for anything unusual, but they have no idea what's really going on. Thomas keeps the fire axe close, hiding it behind his back when they stop by his office door. He's ready to use it if they get too close to the truth. As they patrol, they notice wooden boards covering a large stain on the floor, Jim's blood hidden in plain sight. But the officers don't check behind the boards or find anything strange, so they move on. Meanwhile, Angela wakes up, her head pounding. She's locked in the trunk of her own car. Panic sets in, but she fights back. Using every bit of strength, she breaks free and rushes to find the officers before they leave, but she's too late. Instead, she comes face to face with Thomas and his attack dog, Rocky. Without warning, Thomas lets Rocky loose. The dog charges at Angela, but she smashes the window of a Lincoln Town car and climbs inside. Desperate for protection, Rocky follows, lunging at her. Angela grabs a tire iron, the same one she used to escape the trunk, and fights back. With all her might, she stabs the dog repeatedly until it's finally still. Now covered in blood and breathing hard, Angela stumbles toward a nearby rental car office. She grabs the phone and calls 911, hoping help will come in time, but Thomas isn't far behind. He bursts in, ready to finish what he started. Angela quickly sprays him in the face with a chemical she finds nearby. Blinded and in pain, Thomas stumbles back. Angela doesn't waste a second. She snatches a handful of rental car keys, jumps into one of the cars and speeds away. Angela races toward the exit, but suddenly, bam! Thomas rams her car from the side, sending her spinning. It turns into a dangerous game of chicken, both cars roaring toward each other. At the last second, Angela stays strong and wins, forcing Thomas to swerve. But the chase isn't over. Angela's car flips, crashing hard. Everything goes silent as smoke rises. Thomas walks over, thinking she's out cold. He opens the door to pull her out, but it's a trap. Angela springs to life and jabs an envelope opener right into his eye. He screams, stumbling back. She doesn't stop there. Using her handcuff chains, she wraps them around his neck and chokes him until he collapses. Then, she grabs his keys, uncuffs herself and locks him to the wrecked car. Angela picks up his taser and starts to walk away. Thomas, still in pain, calls out, "Why can't we just be friends?" His voice is weak, pleading. Angela doesn't answer. She notices gasoline leaking from the car, forming a long, shiny stream. Thomas sees her hesitation and insults her, calling her the C word. That's it. No more mercy. Angela lights the gasoline. The fire races toward the car. Flames engulf the wreckage, and Thomas's screams fill the garage. Angela watches him burn, her face cold and unfeeling. After a moment, she turns around and walks away, leaving the nightmare behind. She's finally free. With Thomas finally gone, Angela limps out of the dark, cold garage. Her leg aches from the dog bite, but she keeps moving. The snow falls gently around her, covering the nightmare she just escaped. As she steps onto the snowy streets of New York City, the bright lights of flashing ambulances fill the air. Sirens wail, but to Angela they sound almost peaceful. She walks toward them, leaving the horror of the garage behind. Every step feels like freedom. So which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps.